Every president from Richard Nixon on was very supportive to very supportive of women's entrepreneurship because they saw it as an economic growth opportunity. And some women who were in the Carter administration later became members of NAWBO. There was this absolutely astonishing period from the mid-70s to 1988 or 1990, where we just had incredible strategy, unbelievably high-performance teams that were working together. And so they were very strategic, very strategy-driven. And so we punched massively above our weight. It was extraordinary. Sometimes we could barely imagine what we had just accomplished. In 1980, we had the first national White House conference on small business. That was like training wheels. We decided for 1986, this was going to be one of our punching above our weight type initiatives. We decided ahead of time on 3 issues that were going to be really big ones that would be unlike anything they would think that we would be interested in. None of our policies had to do with women because we didn't want to be dismissed. We got 25 of our 26 recommendations and framework for the future adopted. The world changed. The world absolutely changed. And all of a sudden, all of the male business groups, which were most of them exclusively male at that point, they all then wanted NAWBO members to be members of their organization, members of their board. But we really did not have a women's agenda at that point at all. And we basically saved that for 1988 with the Women's Business Ownership Act. Jillian Rudd, our president in 87-88, found herself opposite over a shrimp bowl Congressman John LaFalce of New York. And she asked him if he would be open and receptive to a hearing on women's business ownership. John said yes, he would. But they didn't have deep staff expertise on that topic, and NAWBO would have to help them. Would NAWBO consider doing that? And oh yes, would we ever? So we decided that we were that weekend going to have a strategic slumber party. Really, we couldn't sleep because the ideas were so exciting. Everything that we had not done for the 86 White House Conference, this was really what we had been waiting for, an opportunity like this. We had 5 key things that we wanted to achieve. One was the creation of the National Women's Business Council. We also wanted to have the Census Bureau count all women-owned businesses. We also wanted the creation of women's business centers, and hugely important on the access to finance front was that women could not get a loan in their own name. They could only get a male relative to co-sign. And then the 5th issue was access to public procurement, and we wanted a 5% goal. So we had witnesses for all of those areas. Our most amazing reaction was to our financial witness. Divorced, her father had passed away. She did not have a brother, so her 16 or 17-year-old son had to co-sign her application for a business loan. And the members of the committee were absolutely stupefied with this information. And that was like one of the big headlines out of the hearings. President Reagan was who officially signed it, and I was not invited to the event. NAWBO was not officially honored as the key architect, but we celebrated nevertheless. We could barely believe what we had pulled off.